Hey, we're back. We actually we remembered to come back this month. We skipped everybody for a month in there. So hello, everybody. Welcome to Q&A with Collin. And Collin's mom is here. Welcome, Tammy.
Hi, everybody.
I don't even know if Collin's going to get any questions tonight because we've got you here. And I bet you that people have all kinds of questions for you because we don't see a lot of you. Why is that?
Well, you know, I'm that person in the background.
Right.
Behind the scenes, making us look good.
Well, I think it's great that you're here because, of course, I know and many others know that you're all a part of it's the family thing, but you do a lot of work with Preferred Towing and everything else too. So we're going to get those questions coming in soon. So, folks, yes, it's question time. Collin, Tammy, ask them your questions, and we will try to. We're usually here for about an hour. But the sooner you get those questions coming in, we're live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube. If you know someone who's maybe not watching because they're not on Facebook, there's a YouTube link on the Video Show Network, YouTube, and mine, the show with David Burrows as well. So look at all these people showing up already. Let's see. Carl. Now, you guys know who Carl is, do you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He comes all the way down from Oshawa to see you guys. And I recently, the Western Ontario Outlaw Racing, I think, was where he came down to say hello. And Carl and I were having a conversation, like we were kind of being accused of like foul play there because you guys couldn't go anywhere.
Suspicious at all. You know, the tools in the pocket.
Right. Oh, didn't hide those? Well, I don't know. Like you guys were pretty threatening about, you had motorcycles and big trucks. You were sending out these videos saying, that we should be scared. And I don't know. And so I'm sure there's going to be a rematch in there for sure.
It's going to have to be, man.
Yeah. Christine's out there.
Hi, Christine.
Hello.
And there's Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Lots of people.
Hi, Tina. Dan. Brian.
All right. Well, we're going to come through a lot of these, but let's start with Brian right there. How do you feel about heavy recovery? Tammy, maybe you could take that question. How do you feel about heavy recovery?
It's interesting. Every time it's different. There's the aspect of worrying about the guys when they're out on the road. Sometimes I'm there and I see things too when I'm assisting and, keeping my eyes out for some of the other guys when Gary and Collin are both busy, eyes on the trucks, and we have a cleanup crew that comes in to help clean it up. So
it's got to be, let's talk about that, being a mom and watching your husband and now your young son. How have you dealt with that?
That's an interesting question because, as having the towing business for almost 30 years now, there's been so many nights. So how our business progressed, we didn't have the big cell phones. We had a radio when we first started out.
I know.
Yeah, you would know that. And if Gary wouldn't answer, I would be freaking out at home. The kids were little, they were babies, and I would be freaking out. He's out in the middle of the night. It's taking an awful long time to do something. What do you think about? You can't get a hold of him. You think about something's happened to him, and then finally he gets back to you. Things are a whole lot better now with the phone systems that we have. But the other thing that's interesting about that is now I see the stuff that the film crew tapes. It's dangerous out there, but when you're visually watching that, it does put it on another level of consciousness for you.
And even the fact you talk about radio to cell phone, but does it almost make it worse that because they have a cell phone and it's more direct, that if they don't answer, it's like, now really what's wrong? Because why they should be answering that phone?
I think so, but I know that there'll be a response very shortly.
Right.
The phone tags you like your wife has just called you or
right.
call, but the radio is not always like that. So I don't know. I don't think I feel as bad because I know that if I can't get a hold of Gary, then I could get a hold of somebody else on scene. I could call Collin or Kyle or somebody else who is on scene. So
yeah. Well, I'm sure you've seen plenty over. You say you're coming up 30 years, right? With Preferred Towing, right? Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah, that's great. And we have, we started out with the small trucks, and I would ride along with Gary, and we would, be the duo helping clean up while he's hooking up. And so you do see stuff. And, same with the big ones. I'm on the scenes whenever I can be to help coordinate and to be, a laborer as well to get done what needs to get done so we can get off the road quickly.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, Tammy. Collin, maybe you want to touch on that too. How do you feel about heavy recovery? I mean, there's the obvious, but go a little deeper than that.
It's interesting because it's always a challenge, and it really makes you think outside of the box. You can get several recoveries and they all seem the same, but you find that one little piece that's different about each recovery, and it challenges you just that little bit more. And I think back to pretty well one of my first heavy recoveries by myself just 4 years ago, and I keep getting the Facebook memories, and I want that recovery back because it fought pretty good. It was a fully loaded garbage hauler out at the Strathroy exit, and the guy had missed the exit and put it in the ditch on its side. And my parents were out of town, and I was left with the crew here in town, and we had to try to figure out and fight with that thing to get it up. And we spent 16 long hours working on that one. And I definitely want that one back so I can redo it and do it right. Because back then,
we were in Italy celebrating our anniversary, and so we were getting the calls, and there's a time difference for us as we're overlooking the Mediterranean Sea.
Right.
Touching base with the guys and finding out what they're doing, and trying to assist all the way from Italy.
Yeah. Well, and that's that technology thing. I mean, thank goodness, I guess, really. But Collin, I got a question before we get to some more from the viewers. How often or how hard do you try to avoid calling your dad for help?
As often as possible, because I'm trying to establish my own name out here, and it's come along. I've come a long way in this, but you know what? Every once in a while, if I got to call my dad, I got to call him, and it is what it is. He's at least got the knowledge for me where I need it, and he's pretty good with that.
Yeah, you got to kind of put the I gotta. Is that phone really heavy sometimes? It's just like I don't want to call him. Yeah. Well, it's good though, and I like how you pointed out, Collin, that obviously your dad and your mom have really established a business and a name for themselves, but you're establishing your own name, and you're earning that, and from people I've heard, you're earning it very well. So good for you on that.
Thank you.
Let's go over to Michael Noyles. I think I said that right. Ask your father what RCFD is in Orlando.
It's the fire department, I believe.
It's the what?
Is it the fire department?
Oh, okay, maybe.
RCFD, fire department?
That sounds like it might make sense. Okay, Michael, let us know. And there's Al.
Whoa.
Somebody's saying hello to me. Thanks, Rachel. Hi, Rachel. All right. Rodney wants to know, have you used the new rotator yet?
Yep. It's been out on a few recoveries now, actually. So it'll be actually airing on season 5, which will be coming up soon. Still don't know the dates on it, so I'm sorry, but we will get the dates as soon as we know the dates. We'll be posting those up. But yeah, you'll see that do its first recovery up on season 5, and since then we've been using it quite steadily, actually. So it's been a nice piece of equipment to add to the fleet.
Yeah, for sure. And looking forward to Heavy Rescue 401 coming up soon. Right? It's really, I get people messaging me asking me if I know, right? I don't know, folks.
We don't even tell Dave, no.
They don't tell me. They know I'd probably let the cat out of the bag somehow, so they don't need to tell me. It's more of a surprise that way. I look forward to it as well. And I fill my Tuesday nights with it, right? Like for me, motorcycle seasons, Tuesday night, I go for a ride. And now it's like, now what do? I need Heavy Rescue 401. Tim, who also came down to see the Western Ontario, he's asking how the engine block and the lawn track. Is that what happened there? The engine block went?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's split right in half. So my buddy's put a new motor in the tractor now. It's got a smaller motor, not as much horsepower, unfortunately. So, but he's still enjoying it. You know, he's getting to run the last few runs out of the season, and I think next year he's planning on coming back with a little bit more horsepower again.
Yeah, right on. It was too bad because honestly, like I know we got going around it. Like I took off, Gary just sat there because his I think it was the accelerator cable just snapped, and I was gone. I was already around. Yeah, I was like, where? This is easy.
Where'd everyone go?
Right? So it was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun, and thanks. I know. Let's give a shout out to the Western Ontario Outlaws because Tammy, they made a donation, didn't they?
Yes, they did. They made an $800 donation to us from that event, which I really appreciate because I know they do their own fundraising, and it's just been a very hard year for everybody. So we really appreciated those dollars coming in for Ohana Landing. Yeah,
that's fantastic. And we're going to talk more about Ohana Landing in a little bit. For those of you who don't know what that is, we'll share some of that. I have to put this comment up on the screen or I get in big trouble.
Hi, Dad.
My wife watching from upstairs. She's getting around more in the house, so that's good. And really Brian, who asked the question, he's saying hello from Northern Ireland. There you go.
Wow. Hi, Brian. That's awesome. What time is it there?
Right.
6 hours ahead almost, or 5 hours ahead. Yeah.
And there's Mary Lynn.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Kevin.
Oh, I just lost. Where'd I go? Holy, I can't keep with all of these comments. But hi, your little fan Collin is watching with me. Do we know who this is?
Oh, hi, Jen.
Yep. Hi, Jen. Hi, Collin.
The rotator was out on a special excursion today to wish Collin a happy birthday. So Collin did a drive-by for Collin.
Very cool.
Yeah,
how old was little Collin today? Do we know?
He turned 8.
8, yes.
That's got to be the coolest thing. I mean, I would think that was cool if you drove it by my house. But 8 years old, and you get requests for that kind of thing. And I know you can't do them all because you got to run a business too. But you get a lot of that.
Yes,
oh, yeah.
We get a lot of it, and we try to accommodate where we can, but it's not always possible. I think Collin's birthday was actually yesterday, and we were just so busy we just couldn't make it out. So that's why we made a special trip today.
Yeah. It's got to make you feel pretty good though that people ask for that kind of thing, and then of course you put the effort into making that happen.
It's cool. It really is. It's neat that we have so much interaction with the fans, and they enjoy the show that much that they want us to come by and say hi and say happy birthday. It's neat. It's different.
Well, and I think that some of the kids really look at Collin as being a role model too, which is even more special.
Absolutely. And Collin, you and I have been in the truck together and had some conversation about dealing with that, and I know you don't like to use the word celebrity, but a lot of people look up to you, like your mom said. And do you realize the impact that you're having on a community?
That's an interesting question. I have something to stretch from that too, actually, because over the last little bit, I've been contacted by a group that does youth involvement with industry. So they had me on to do a little interview for their page. Okay. So once I get that, I'm going to be posting it up on my page as well. But that was something really neat that I never expected. She reaches out to youth who have a hard time finding ways in different industrial settings because, big industry isn't something that has a lot of contacts for youth trying to get into. So, she's reaching out, filling that gap, which is really awesome. And, it was neat to be a part of that. And I'll be sharing that kind of story with everyone here shortly.
Yeah, that's exciting. Good for you you and if you don't realize just huge of an impact even beyond that, like, I hear people talking about you. They say, "Oh, Collin," and then they talk Gary and Tammy. The name comes up often, and I know that knowing your parents as long as I have, that they instill that community aspect that they've put out in the community as well, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it's good to be able to put back into the community what we've gotten out of it. And, my parents have done that throughout the years, and now with my mom's project, the Ohana Landing, it really is neat to be able to have that piece back into the community like this. It's really heartwarming.
Yeah, for sure. Tammy, let's come back over to you. You brought up Ohana Landing, and I know we've got some new merchandise we want to show off to people as well. The two kind of work together. So talk about that Ohana Landing.
So Ohana Landing is our housing for homeless youth project. It was the old ABC daycare. We renovated it, and it has 7 units with 3 singles and 4 doubles. It's full aside from 1 bedroom, which hasn't been filled yet just because of COVID.
Okay.
We have three young ones under 2 living in the facility as well. So youth who are precariously living or couch surfing, or totally just desperately needing a place to stay, can apply to come to Ohana Landing when we have a space available. If they fit the criteria, then they're housed there, and the apartments are totally set up, furniture, pots and pans, dish towels, everything, because generally they do not own anything.
Right.
And then they get supports from a housing support worker who comes in to make sure that they're cleaning their apartments, that they're getting some life skills, that they are connected with other community services that will assist them and show them how to sign up for OSAP for school, that kind of stuff. And then I kind of step it up a little bit too. And I kind of find myself being a bit of a connector, I guess. So when a youth needs something, they'll ask me, and I will put an ask out on Facebook. And generally there's lots of caring people in Sarnia who will come to our aid and, do that for us. We have some groups who donate food cards so that I can go get groceries for the kids when they need it. I think I have a pretty good relationship with them, and I'm very happy with how it's been running. Once I had it done, it's been running for a year now. Once it was finished, I kind of went, oh my God, what did I just do?
Right.
Yeah. And there are those moments still sometimes, but boy, the benefits far outweigh those moments. When you see those kids and they're thriving and they're taking care of the space, there's no complaints from the neighbors. The building looks beautiful. There's not litter everywhere. I think what people's perceptions were at the beginning have changed quite a lot.
Absolutely, and those concerns were even brought forth to you in the stages of bringing this together, and there were a lot of obstacles to overcome, and fair questions, right? So the fact that and I like the fact that you pointed out it's remained clean. The young folks that live there are taking pride in it, and this is not a free ride. There's expectations there, and there's a lot of learning skills going on there as well. Tammy, why was this so important to you to do?
Well, I think a lot of people know the story through Heavy Rescue, but when I was 16, I was homeless. I did not come from a very good background. There was a lot of turmoil in my background, and when I was 16, I was taken away by CAS, but at that age, they didn't continue the service. So I was basically kind of left at the women's shelter. And I had to try to figure it out, try to find a place for myself. So that wasn't a really good feeling, especially, the trauma that I had gone through and trying to deal with, everything that had just happened. And I know what some of these kids feel like and what they've gone through. So if I can help, I'm going to help. Yeah.
Well, it's certainly making a difference in the community. And I know, like you and Gary like to say, this is not a handout, it's a hand up. Yes. And many of the youth have done very well in there. So, and who knows, I know it's a long-term project, right? So good for you on that. Now, of course, Ohana Landing needs support, ongoing support as well. And this is one of the ways that you're doing that with the new Heavy Rescue 401 Preferred Towing, there's a mouthful, merchandise.
Yeah, and you know what? These pictures, it's not a good representation because they almost look like a washed out, but they're actually black. And I don't know.
Yeah.
It is black, but it just the lighting that I took the pictures in kind of make it look like it's washed out. But they're black clothing.
Yeah.
I'm wearing it right now.
Yeah, on call. And we're also going to be doing we're putting together a calendar, which we've never done before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and selling that as a fundraising effort too as well, just because we're not really sure what's going to happen with the premiere, if we're going to be able to have it or not. And that was always our big fundraiser. Like we would make 30,000 from that. So that's a good possibility that that's not going to be able to happen. So, you know, we're thinking outside.
We're going to find a way. We're going to find a way, Tammy.
We're going to find a way. But just in case, I've got other ideas.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sure you are full of ideas. That's for sure.
The brain doesn't stop working, let me tell you.
That's right. I know. Well, that's great. I think the new look, it looks fantastic.
It does. I love the rotator.
Look at the red truck just standing out there. It's screaming, "Buy me."
Yeah. And the phone has been very busy. The emails have been very busy. We've had lots of people in and out so far since we've launched this with our lovely little video last week.
Collin, that's something that you are good at, Tammy, is getting the staff to buy into your, okay, guys, we got to make a video, right? Is that easy to do? I
think they're just scared of me. No, I'm kidding.
I get that. No,
they know it's for a good cause. They know we've put a lot of effort into doing this. Yeah. And I think, part of working for Preferred Towing is having that pride of the association, like the business, but what the business does for the community as well. And so because they work for us, they've helped to do things that we needed to get done while the construction is happening. They own part of that too. So it's part of their pride too for the community.
Yeah, I think it's great.
They like to put up a fuss, but it's all for attention. That's it.
They know they love it, right?
Yes, they do.
Especially Kyle.
Especially who?
Kyle.
Oh yeah.
What, he hates it?
Oh, I don't think he hates it. I think he just
hate is such a strong word.
Yeah.
I can see Kyle putting up a fuss. Sorry, Kyle, if you're watching. Let's go back to some of the comments. We got lots to get to. Here's somebody saying hello from Red Deer, Alberta.
Hi, Rodney.
And who else we got here? Hugh Beatty. Hi, Tammy and Collin.
Hi, Hugh.
Hi, Hugh.
And there's Carl's making a funny tater versus minivan. Oh, that's right. Right. My minivan. Yeah, I think Gary was making fun of my minivan actually.
Yes,
was. And Brian says he's done. Okay, Collin is the man. Okay.
Hi, Connor.
Okay, Connor says also, what is your greatest strength? How does it help you as a tow truck driver, Collin?
I think stubbornness, honestly, is my greatest strength because
Where do you get that from, by the way?
I think a little bit of both sides. I think
that's a safe answer.
That's a safe answer, yeah.
But you know what? It's one of those things. It gets me involved in what I'm doing, and I don't want to give up, and I won't give up until I find a way to get something done. I've had a lot of recoveries over the years where I've been stumped, and I just kind of fight through it and try to find different ways to do it, and then finally I come up with a way that works. So I think that's really helped me over the years.
All right, very good. Now, Tammy, I'll ask you the same question, maybe not as a tow truck driver, but what is your greatest strength in all of this?
I think because of everything that I do, it has to be multitasking. So being able to organize and do several things at once. But I also think the second one would be compassion, because we have a lot of people who come in who are upset, who have been in bad accidents, or other ones who have lost somebody to an accident. So because of my background as a child and youth worker, it's very easy for me to be able to, be compassionate and deal with those people when they come in. And same with our drivers. They see some stuff sometimes too, and they need to talk. So
yeah, Yeah, we've talked about that before, the mental health effect
Mhm.
on drivers that it can have. You see some pretty nasty stuff. Tammy, can you give us kind of a Reader's Digest version of what do you do in a day at Preferred Towing?
Gosh, what do I do in a day? Yeah, it's all over the place, especially with Ohana. So I'll tell you, today was a really busy day. I had the locksmiths come in to rekey the building so I can just have one master key, and that took all day. I went grocery shopping for the kids. I answered a bunch of emails, trying to get stuff together for the calendar, answered emails for the shirt sales. It's all over the place. Lots of email answering. We belong to safety programs like ISNet and Avetta, so they always have policies that we have to upload. So I do all the policy stuff. I assist Carol if she's really busy with other things. And I answer the phones. I deal with customers. I organized, today was Mark's last day, so I organized a lunch for him too. So,
nice.
It's kind of all over the place.
Yeah. Whatever needs to be done, eh, Tam?
Whatever needs to be done. Yes, that's what we ask her.
Right on. Rachel's making a comment. Ohana Landing is a beautiful name. Love the meaning. Also, the teens who are staying there. Do you have any interest in joining Preferred Towing team, like the towing side of things? I think is what she's asking.
Well, I believe I am part of the team member. I go out on recs and, I help Gary with invoicing. I sweep a room. I pick up stuff.
I've seen you do it. Right? Yeah. Again, whatever needs to be done. And you definitely are part of the team. What about driving a tow truck?
So that was the one thing that I kind of was very stubborn about. If I knew how to drive a tow truck, or if I got into a tow truck and learned, then I would be out in the tow truck. And I thought, I have enough stuff on my plate. I'm going to refuse to learn that one.
Right. Gotcha.
I think Collin took me out to do some boosting, show me how to boost cars in case we need to. I do fuel calls, small things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, whatever needs to be done.
Whatever needs to be done.
Fantastic. Some more people saying hello here that we want to say hello to.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, Greg. Hi, Pat.
Hi, Pat.
And Stephen wants to know, hi, Stephen from London, Ontario. Hi, Tammy. Are you proud of Collin? And Collin, how has the heavy towing coming so far for you? So Tammy, start with you.
Yeah, I will. I'm very proud of Collin. He was that little kid in the, living room hooking up Gary's old trucks from when he was little and going around the room. So, there was a great indication there that we knew where he was going to be going. But we always gave him the option. He had to go to school to get a career first. We always said that. You need to see the other side of it because he grew up in the business. We weren't forcing our hand on him at all. If it ended with Gary and I just retiring, then that's the way the business would end because that was our choice. So it had to be Collin's choice. And, he has shown us that he wants to continue being the next generation of Preferred Towing. So we're very, very pleased and very happy. And, he's grown into this, a great role model for kids, and his experience has expanded so much over the last few years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Collin,
proud.
Yeah, well, of course, obviously, you can see it in your face too when you talk about it. Collin, you're sort of taking over more of the reins, if you will, day by day, and it takes time to take over those reins. How's that going? And don't worry that Mom's there listening.
As I've said before, I'm trying to learn 29, almost 30 years of business in a lot shorter of a time while learning actually how to do the towing side of things. So, it's definitely each day is a new experience. We'll put it that way. And, it's a very condensed kind of learning process, but, it's been fun. It's every day is different, something new, and it challenges me to really look at different ways to do things. And as my mom said, I had to go to school and I took business marketing, and that in its own was kind of an experience to see the business side of things from the schooling aspects. So over the past few years, it's really come a long way for that. And to answer the question there about the heavy recovery stuff, I'm now almost 5 years. It'll be 5 years coming up this year that I've had my AZ license, and 3 years of that I've been running the heavy wreckers. So, it's, again, every day is something new, because I go out to many wrecks and I'm still sitting there thinking, okay, how am I going to do this one? What would my dad do in this situation? Because, it really is. It's every job makes you think. And even my dad's sitting there on most of these jobs looking at stuff and saying, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do it differently? How are we going to do it safely? Because every day they're coming out with pretty well a new vehicle, a new truck or something like that, or a new feature on these trucks. And I can tell you, they're not making them easier to tow or to recover. They are meant to go down the road on their wheels, and that is it.
Yeah, there's little switches in the trunks and stuff like that you got to know about, so it doesn't. Yeah, right. So you're constantly learning. Okay, Mom. Now I'm going to ask you the question: is he listening?
He is, and it's funny. We have to put it into perspective. So when Collin said, he's trying to learn 30 years of stuff, in this kind of condensed time, it's true. Gary and I started with one truck, and we made our mistakes as we were going along, because there wasn't anybody to teach us. So even book work, I did not come from a math background or a book work. I had to learn that, off the hop and keep that going. So, he's now coming to a rather large conglomeration where things are so much more complicated than when we started. The regulations are different. The employee standards are different. The policies for the plants are different. Like it's got so many more layers on it than when we first started. So he's going to have a bit of a harder time than we did, because, we had that kind of slow progression up the hill where he's just plopped on the top of the mountain. There you go.
Just keep reaching for the top and you'll get there. Yeah. Greg says, thanks for the shirt and poster signed by your dad.
You're welcome, Greg.
And we've got some more.
Hi, Rob.
Trying to, I lost my place. Oh, okay. Well, here's a good question from Jen again. What does Collin think of his celebrity status, given my son Collin gets tongue-tied around Collin?
You know what? And we've said this right from the beginning, both me and my dad, we don't see ourselves as celebrities. We're out there doing our job, and people enjoy watching us do our job. And that's the best way that I think we can describe it. And I know I think of it the same way I remember when I was maybe 8 or 10, and we were in Florida, and I used to watch a show, American Choppers and stuff like that, all the motorcycle customizations, and we found one of their shops down there, and I went in and met Ed Terada, and I remember being that way, just tongue-tied and couldn't say a thing. And even just a couple of years back, I think I was at a car show, and the Vegas Rat Rod guys were there.
Oh, yeah.
And that was only just a couple of years ago. That was while we were actually filming for the show, and I'm still sitting there standing beside these guys, and I don't know what to say. So I get that aspect of it too, and for me it's weird, because we don't see ourselves as celebrities. We're going out there, we're doing a job, and it's neat to show people what we do on a daily basis.
Yeah, very good.
We were towing before the film crews came, and when they leave, we'll still be towing. So
right. They're never going to leave, though. Lots of comments still coming in. Chris says you're a big fan.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Hello, Lisa. We'll do this one real quick, but I think, Tammy, you kind of already answered it a little bit. But Christine says, do you ever worry about Collin? I mean, of course, right?
I worry about Collin. I worry about Gary. They get out there. You guys see some of the episodes where we have that howling wind, and they're on the highway, and the highway's not closed. There's still truckers running by, and they don't slow down. So yeah, I worry about all of our guys, but yeah, family in particular.
Sure. And watching it on Heavy Rescue 401 when they're that close on a big screen TV, it's scary. Never mind really being there. Right, I get that. Yeah. Toby says, Collin, hero of the highways and the big boss.
Thank you, Toby.
I think we know who the real boss is in all of this.
Yeah, Gizmo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a long one for Collin. What have been the top three most scary moments in your heavy rescue career? I recall the one where the truck was on its rooftop at the Highway 40 off ramp. And what lessons have you taken away from these moments? There's a big question.
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So that definitely the one on its roof was definitely, that has to be my number one. That was a situation where we had never seen something like that. And again, as I said, everything is new in this industry. Every wreck we go to is new, but something on its roof is something that, an operator may never see in their career. And for us to have that, it was just a 1 in a million wreck. And yeah, we got to the end of that wreck. We were tired and we let that get the best of us. We made some mistakes. And, fortunately for myself and for everyone else on scene, we all walked away. The trailer swung, it hit the leg of the rotator. I remember the camera crew, coming up, and they were like, and we're friends with the camera crew. They weren't coming up as the camera crew at this point. They were coming up as our friends, and they were saying, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
Yeah.
And I'm at that point, I was just like, "Yeah, I want to get the job done. Leave me alone. We're gonna finish this, and just, we'll deal with it later." And then for the week later, they kept saying, "Are you okay?" And then, I'm like, "Yeah, why do you guys keep asking?" And then they said, "Okay, you need to watch this." And, in my mind, I had stepped off the leg of the rotator before it even the trailer even swung and touched the leg. That's how it played out in my mind. And then seeing it from their cameras, and they had 5 or 6 different angles on this, and to see it, it swings, it touches the leg, and it stops before I even begun to move. That's how fast that happened. And it went to show us, okay, yeah, we need to rethink this. And that's why we went and did the training piece after that and did it the proper way. And, that one really stuck with me for sure. That was definitely, that's probably my top one scariest moment. The other 2 behind that have to do with freezing rain. I am not a fan of freezing rain. I hate it with a passion. If I didn't have to go out in the freezing rain, I would avoid it. But unfortunately, that is part of the gig. We're out in all sorts of weather conditions. My second one would definitely have to be when I was first starting out in the even just the light duty recovery. I was pulling a car out of the ditch. It was actually on an off ramp, so I had the off ramp to work with plus the shoulder, and then an OPP came out and stopped traffic in one lane for me. So I had 2 lanes to work with, and just because of all the freezing rain that we had, a transport truck ended up sliding out, jackknifing and kicking towards me, and it passed by myself and the car and my truck by about 5 feet. And that one really shook me up. And then after that, it was another one that you see on the show. It was coming back from London in my 1-ton, and there was 3 transport trucks in the ditch, or 2 transports or whatever it was, and a camper trailer. And I was the first one on scene for that. I was there within a minute of it happening because I was just coming back from London that night. And, walking through the ditches to make sure everyone was okay. I thought the highway was closed. At that point, I didn't realize that traffic was still coming. And, the pickup truck that was towing the trailer ended up getting hit. caused another truck to come in the ditch at us. There's a lot of close calls in this industry, unfortunately, but we learn from each one. You learn to really make sure you know all the dangers of each recovery and each job you're going out to, and it really has made me have a different outlook on safety while driving and safety while being on the side of the road.
And it keeps them humble too, because we never know what's going to happen. Even if you have the best plan, which we thought we did on that wreck, something that is bizarre or odd can happen that you haven't already calculated for. So keeping humble with that at the top of your mind all the time, not that like, oh, I feel confident and know exactly how we're going to do this and how everything's going to go, because it's like Murphy's Law. Things don't go how you always plan them to go.
You can't be overconfident in this game, right? You got to be, and you got to have more than one set of eyes, right?
Yeah.
And I guess probably, I think I asked Gary this question before, but Collin, when the camera crew is out there with you, obviously, and you say you've become friends as well, but you both have jobs to do as well.
Yeah.
Was it? There's more responsibility there now too, because you've got this camera crew. Because if you're the guy in charge on scene, right? You're looking after everybody. How is that to adjust to?
It's definitely a bit of a challenge working with, a few extra guys on scene. But the nice thing is all these guys are like top level. They know what they're doing. We've got their back. We've had to call out to them, say, hey, don't stand there, or, watch out for this. But, they've also come back and helped us and said, hey, go look at that. I just saw something I didn't like. These guys have been out with us for the last 5 years, coming up on 6 years. They've gotten to see what we know. It's a condensed version, but, at least they have a basic understanding of everything, and they're able to sit back and say, you might want to go look at that. And it's actually helped us on several recoveries. It's nice to have that extra set of eyes, and even when we're just dealing with traffic, usually when we're trying to grab chains out of the trucks, we've got the doors open, we can't see traffic, to have that extra set of eyes kind of peering out, they're filming us, but they're also able to see what's coming and say, hey, there's someone coming pretty tight here, you need to move. It's nice to have that extra set of eyes. We've got their back and they've got ours for sure.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, because they are like another employee on scene, and when behind the camera, their eyes sometimes they're so focused on what's happening in front of them, they don't know what's happening behind them. So we are always aware of that for them as well, and telling them they need to move back or move over, or stand here, don't stand there. But Gary does training with them at the beginning of every year. Before they come out to film. So he'll take the rotator to Toronto, and he does a special training with all of the film crew, just to give everybody, because sometimes they have new people, just the idea of, the chains, how heavy they are, the hooks and sounds to listen for, and where you should stand, where you shouldn't stand, the trajectory of a cable if it's going to break, where the danger zone is. So yeah, he does give them a nice little 4-hour training.
Yeah, no, it's great that you do that too, because safety first as always, right? And it's good you have that relationship where you can tell each other, because nobody likes to tell anybody how to do their job. Well, most people don't, right? But we don't always like being told either. Like, okay, I got it, But that's all got to be put aside just because of safety, right? So, all right, let's keep going here. Oh wow. Do we know Christian Joseph from Quebec?
Salut, bonjour.
Hello, Christian.
Rachel says the one that made me nervous is when Collin stopped behind the semi and you went running and your dad kept yelling to be careful. All right.
Oh.
Alice
I don't remember that one.
Good for you, Collin. Yeah, right. Setting goals and achieving them at a young age. Yeah, I mean, that's
Thank
fantastic.
You,
Lisa says,
hi,
DJ says hi.
Hi, DJ.
Lots of hellos here. Christine says Collin rocks.
Of course.
Thank you, Christine.
Carl's getting in there again. I still like the mud sense.
Oh yeah, that one is never going away.
What was that one? The mud sense?
The mud scene.
Yeah, that was season 1, episode 5. That is forever ingrained in everyone's memories of me. Yep.
I don't remember that one. I'll have to go back and watch.
Yep.
And
Hi, Joanne.
Hi, Connor.
Hi, Shania.
Hi, Shania.
Okay, so we've got one here. Trying to get hang in there, folks. We still got time. I'm going to try to get to all of them here. Jack says, "Hi, Tammy and Collin. 3-part question. Okay, thank you, Tammy, for all the work for the center. Love the hat. Oh, for the center. Love the hat and posters framed.
He's wearing the hat."
And you can see the poster actually too in the back.
Yeah, just in this corner there. That's cool. Collin, when is the big day when your dad hands over the Halo crown to you? And what are you asking for the hoodie?
Well, I don't think that there's any set date for that. It's a slow, long process. We've been working on it for the last couple years, and there's still many years to go yet. He's not looking to retire anytime soon. I know that. So, it'll be a few years yet, but no, I've got lots to learn yet before I take on that challenge. So I'm happy that he's sticking around for a little bit longer.
Right. Well, and fair question too, but I mean, I'm sure Jack didn't mean it this way, but like, he's not just handing over the reins. Mom and Dad are just saying, here you go. You're earning those reins, right?
You are.
Right. Because, as much as they love you, I'm sure if you weren't able to do the job, fair question, right, Mom? If you wasn't able to do the job, you'd have to look elsewhere, right? Or look at other options.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's business. Greg also says, my son Jess says hi to Collin.
Oh, hi. I'm glad Jesse got the poster. We got a picture. I haven't posted it yet on Facebook, but I'm very glad that he enjoyed it.
There you go.
That's awesome. Thank you.
And we hope him a speedy recovery.
Yes. And the sweatshirts, you're supposed to answer the price on the sweatshirts. Do you know that?
Right.
Our normal sizes below XL and below are 55 plus tax.
Yeah, and there's the web. Just go to the website there on the screen, and or call the office, right?
Yes, that's the easiest. Call the office or email office@preferredtowing.com.
Okay. Susan, I'll put it up on the screen just to give you kudos, but this was kind of already answered. What's the scariest color you ever went on? I think we talked about those 3. Nikki wants to know, hi, Collin. In the future, when you get lots more experience, would you like to train future tow truck drivers?
Well, that's a good question, Nikki. And I've been slowly working on training some of the new guys coming up in this in our business. I do a lot of the training with the light duty guys, eventually once I get quite a bit more experience, I'd be happy to do the heavy recovery stuff as well. And that's something also too we do with the fire departments. We do a lot of training with fire departments, and over the last couple of years, I've been slowly transitioning with my dad, and I've been taking on some of the training for my dad. And we actually have a couple of big training days coming up here in the next couple of weeks with our local fire department. So, it's neat being able to do that stuff. And, while I'm doing the training, I'm also learning. So it's a fun experience either way, and I look forward to doing a lot more training in the future with a lot of future tow truck drivers.
Right on. Shania, we kind of already answered this, but I'm trying to put everybody's up there. Take over the family business one day, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and
I will be.
Christine says season 4, ending on my 50th birthday.
Oh well, happy 50th. That was a good way to have your 50th birthday.
The reruns are still good. Yeah. I always find it interesting just how much footage they get. Like, cause I met a couple of the film crew one time and was talking to them and I do some video editing too. So I get it, right? You could take like 8 hours of footage.
Yeah.
5-10 minutes of a thing, right?
Yeah.
So and that's a lot of footage to go through. Let me ask the question: Do you ever get to see that uncut footage? Do you ever get the raw stuff that doesn't make it?
They do. Not the raw stuff that doesn't. What they send to us for preview is the pieces that we're in.
Okay.
Sometimes they have questions about, are we right when we have this is, they have the voice in the background always talking.
The narrator, yeah.
Yeah, so was this right, what the narrator said about the scenario, how it happened. So
the terminology.
That it's accurate and that's the true stuff. But we don't see the stuff, even the bloopers, when they put that up, that got up on the website. We never saw that until they put it up on the website. But I'd love to see more of that uncut stuff because that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is, right? What didn't make it? The director's cut, I think, or something like that. Uncut version or something. I want the narrator's job, by the way, if he ever decides to go into other things.
I do have you to give to them.
Okay, you're right. Because that's as far as I would go in that I don't do the tow truck thing anymore. I remember I always like to brag that I drove for Gary and Tammy about 30 years ago, and I was always very proud of that. And but went on to other things, probably for very good reason too.
Doesn't like to get his hands dirty.
What's that?
I said you don't like to get your hands dirty.
Not anymore. No. That's okay. I'll do the talking. So okay. Here's a really good question. I like this one. Jordan says, "Hey, Collin, do you ever find that you being young ever interferes with commanding a scene between, I don't know, something and OPP?"
Yeah, you know what? The first couple years, I did find that I had a lot of OPP that were just kind of like, yeah, whatever, you don't know what you don't know what you're doing. Just hurry up and get this over with. And then, over the years, a lot of the guys, and my dad's friends with a lot of the Sarnia police and with the OPP. So, a lot of them did get to see me grow up in the business, and a lot of them knew right from the beginning, that I had more than just the basic knowledge of this right from the start. But, a lot of the other guys who were out there who saw me, I think they were kind of thinking like, what are you doing out here? You don't look like you're old enough to drive. But, over the last couple of years, I know I've had a lot of officers come to me now and just, they say, yeah, you do what you do and get this done for us so we can get back to what we do. So they're pretty happy when they see, anyone at our team show up.
Yeah. That's good. Well, and I guess that's kind of that earning thing again too, right?
Yes.
You got to prove yourself, and fair enough. I get that. Yeah. Boy, I don't know what's going on with Facebook. I was all caught up, and then all of a sudden, boom! All of these. We got a long way to go. And folks, we may go a little over time, but I may not get to everybody. And I just lost my place. So, here we go. How many more seasons on TV are you hoping to be involved in? Tammy, maybe I'll put that one over to you.
I think history kind of shows that some of these things go for about 10 years. We'll take what we can get. It's been a fun experience. And you know what, it helps us too. We watch the episodes on TV, and we, it's really different watching, like stepping outside of your body and seeing what you're doing on TV.
Yes. Right.
You can catch things, and we actually use that to help train our guys. And
I was going to say, great training videos, right?
Yeah, and we're not always on scene when one of our guys is out doing something. So if we see a footage of the job that he did, and there's something that he's doing that really could be done better or could be done differently that would make it easier or safer, then we can go, oh my God, okay, that's great. I'm glad I watched that one, and let's talk about this. So that aspect of it is great for us too. But I don't know, 10 years, we'll take what we can get.
Yeah, why not? As long as you're having fun and everybody's keeping safe, why not? So what I've done now, folks, just so you know, is I've scrolled to the very bottom and I'm going to go backwards now to try to catch up, just to give everybody fair opportunity here. Well, I can't. Oh, Dana. Oh, Dana Piggott. Hello, Dana. She says, I think it means crew, not right. Yes, I think that's what we got that. And yeah, a bloopers video. I think we could probably do a whole show on that. I saw some of those bloopers.
We have fun with them too. So
yeah, and well, I remember. Yeah, that was the Heavy Rescue 401 fundraiser one year. I remember getting those bloopers and looking, and I'm like, I'm so glad I don't work there right now. You were putting cars on top of buildings and stuff. Like, really? Don't mess with the guy who's got a bigger truck than you, right? Okay. I
think the bloopers, if you go on to, I just saw a question, if you go on to the Rescue 401 Facebook page, and I don't think they have one for every year. You would just have to go into that
videos
and just look and see where it would say bloopers on it.
Right. Okay. Where am I? Hi from Montreal. We visited you guys last year on our way to Michigan. Thank you so much for the tour. Not sure if it's been asked. I tuned in late, but are you currently filming for a new season? Thanks for all you do.
Not currently filming, but soon. They'll be back. Yeah, they'll be back. It'll be season 6. They'll start filming. Yeah.
Right. Hi, Collin and Tammy. I'm sure that's what they meant. Love your show. I have a new appreciation for tow truck drivers. Give them room and slow down. What are the most unusual tows? Well, we talked about the unusual tows. We don't have time to go into that, but I like the fact that it was pointed out, new appreciation for tow truck drivers, because they're I'm going back 20-ish years ago where there really was kind of a stigma on tow truck drivers, wasn't there? Is that still there?
Yeah, that's still there. So, yeah, and that's I'm on the board of the Provincial Towing Association, and that is one of the things that we're trying to kind of fix in the industry. There aren't any standards, so we're trying to get some standards put into place so that people recognize this as a professional association, professional industry, just like doctors or lawyers or dentists or any other, industry out there.
Yeah, right. How there's been a lot of stuff happening too, and can we talk about that for a minute, about how there's been a lot of dangerous stuff happening?
Yeah, there's been a lot of really bad press for our industry and what happens if people globalize. So they think that all towers are like that, and that's not true. So in the GTA, they're having a lot of issue with criminal activity, some pretty horrendous stuff, people being murdered, people being shot at, just some pretty bad stuff. And so we've been really working hard and fighting that to bring our industry up to where it is. This is the industry that Collin's going to be growing up in. And some of our friends have kids, or some of our friends are young people doing the same thing. And so we want to make sure that, this is not going to be I can buy a tow truck and off I go. I'm just going to hook and go. No, there's money invested. There's time invested. There's training invested. It needs to be respected that way. And, we are, doing a call because someone's called us to do that call. We're not just running off to a parking lot or someplace and just grabbing people's vehicles and stealing them. A lot of that stuff it's very hard, especially when you're passionate about the industry and we've built our business up as being so professional. So
yeah, well, I know, and that's something that always with Gary as well and yourself, like I remember being told, you better keep this truck clean, by the way, fella. Like, not like that, but basically that was, hey, and I remember hearing Gary say, like, I want to change the towing industry and what it looks like right now. And, that's to you be involved in the association, and like you have conversations with Transportation Minister Mulrooney and stuff, right? So that's, you're not hoping it changes, you're working at changing it.
Yes, we are. Hard, very hard.
Yeah. I'll keep it up.
Some of my time is all of these phone calls and all of these meetings that we have. So that's actually right now that's taken up quite a big part of my time.
Well, if they don't know who they're dealing with yet, Tammy, they're going to find out pretty quick, right? Because when your heart's in it, I know you just go that direction. So keep going right on. Peter says, great job from all at Preferred.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Peter.
Peter.
Andrew Wilson, say hello to the
Hey,
crew.
Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
Oh, here's a good one. I wish they would make DVDs of Heavy Rescue 401.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? I think because the production company sells the footage to Discovery, it's up to Discovery to produce those DVDs. And maybe somewhere down the road they might. I know it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix in the States, but I've heard that it's on Crave in Canada. So
yeah, I haven't seen it on Netflix here, but
no, it is in the States. I mean, it's on the Weather Channel in the States as well. But I know that somebody said they saw it on Crave in Canada. So
right.
I think eventually they may do that, especially if there's enough call for it. But right now, the production company can't. So
they kind of know where the money's at. They know where they got to put things, right? So and DVDs. I don't know that that's such a big industry. It's kind of like records anymore. Maybe download on demand, right? That might be.
There you go.
I met Collin and Gary at the Toast Show in Kitchener last year, and even Tammy. That's coming from Christine.
Yep, hi, Christine.
Yep.
Irene says hi from BC.
Hi, Irene.
Oh, there's one for me. Hi, Emily. Okay, we kind of talked about this. Colin, the one show I saw that made me know you were a career man was the Mud Show. Your quote was, "I love this job." I'm assuming that was sarcasm.
No, I was serious, man. It was an interesting little job, that one, and I spent 4 hours out there on a back road going to get this car out and getting myself back out after.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it because that was season. I
Yeah.
don't remember that one, and maybe I missed that one. Oh, this is it. Hello, Mrs. Vandenheuvel.
Hi, Terry.
Hi,
from
Terry.
Missouri. And hello from Tilsonburg.
Hi, Barb.
Hi, Barb.
And there's Mississauga.
Hi, Scott.
And Emily's from Niagara.
Hi, Emily.
Hi, Emily.
Not sure if that was Tammy that replied to me, but thank you for giving me Carol's email so I can get on the clothing stock list. Excited for it.
Yes, you're welcome. It was me.
Okay, this is a big one, Tammy. You might get covered up on the screen here,
Okay,
but
no worries.
our friend Matt Porter says,
Hey, Matt.
"Thank you, Colin, for putting yourself in the position you do. I really wish people would use their brains and make the best call to make your job more safe. I got my buddy Johnny, that's a 1-ton driver up in Kingston, and he's awesome with what he does. Worked around Toronto area before himself, and his wife moved to Kingston. What can you recommend to him to be more safe?"
And that's one of those things, there is only so much that we ourselves can do out there, but cone zone is definitely something very important. Placing out your cones behind the casualty or behind where you're working on the highways, your flashing lights. A little trick my dad taught me was, your 4-ways on, because the 4-ways on the back, most of the trucks are red. And, it may not be red and blue, but the red does seem to grab people's attention and get them to move over a little bit. Other than that, you really just have to keep your eyes out and just watch for everything going each way, because you can't trust anyone on the road.
And training.
Yeah. Yeah, you can never have enough training, right?
No.
And what's that? And you know what, Colin? That 4-way flash thing, I remember your dad telling me that years ago. That stuck out. It's 2 things: 4-way flashes, and do not lean with your hand on the drive on the stick shift while you're driving. Those are the things I remember. Yeah. Okay, well, this might be interesting, but fair question. Susan says, "What's the saddest call you've ever been on?"
There's a lot. It's every fatality is hard, and there isn't really any one that sticks out particularly for me. But it's just every job that you go to with a fatality, it sticks with you, and you remember them all. You can be doing this for 30 years and have seen hundreds of them, and you remember each one. So, you know, just anytime you deal with that stuff, it's hard.
Yeah, for sure. Jordan says, hey there, Tammy and Collin. How's the guitar working out at Ohana Landing? Any aspiring musicians? Do you need any strings or picks?
I think it's working out great. And no, I don't think we need any strings or picks. I think we're doing good. Thank you.
Very good. Emily says the 402 sucks. Okay, well.
In the winter, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Oh, remind him you're. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. No. do you guys know Nat?
No, I don't think so. But I think I know exactly what she's talking about.
Yeah, that was for empty bowls.
Yeah, pottery bowls.
Pottery bowls. And my good friend Annette from Corunna, Ontario, helped me raise money. And apparently I raised the most money ever for the bowl or something. So I beat your bowl, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure your bowl was way better looking than mine. Probably
that was fun.
Better.
That was a lot of fun.
You would think it would be not that hard to make something round. Right?
It's a lot more challenging than it looks, eh?
It certainly is. Is camera? We're a little over time here, but we'll do a few more, folks. Has camera crew ever gotten hurt when filming a video?
Not with our fleet, not with our crew. They've been very fortunate with that, and they're very good at what they do, and you know, they're very proficient at what they do as well. You know, they're making sure that they're taking all the safety steps that they need to as well, because at the end of the day, they have a family to go home to, and you know, they have to get their job done too. So, you know, they're very good.
I think they've taken a couple tumbles in the ditch. But no,
that we've seen.
Nobody's been hurt.
Their pride has been hurt.
Yeah, their pride has been hurt. Yeah.
Right. Very good. A couple more here. It says, see, my husband and I love your show. We give plenty of room to tow trucks on the road due to your show. Most unusual tows. We don't have time to go in that. We kind of covered that a bit. And Jack says you chat now and then on their timeline. That's cool. Collin, I will say that I know you get a lot of messages on your heavy rescue page. Just maybe let everybody know, like, you do try to get to all those messages.
Yeah, and you know, I'm sorry I don't get to everyone all the time right away. And I know I'm a couple months behind, I know, and I'm really sorry for everyone who has been messaging me over the past few months. We have just been extremely busy, and I've been trying to get to stuff, but at the end of the day, sometimes I just put the phone down and I'm done with everything. So no, I'm trying to get back to everyone, and I'm going to go through some messages this weekend and get back to a few people. So thank you again for everyone who's supported us over the years. It's been very much appreciated. Yeah.
Well, you got to have some downtime for yourself too, right? I mean, that's it's a busy lifestyle that you've chosen, this path that you've decided to take on, so you still got to have the time for yourself. We're pretty much out of time. I know we've gone over an hour here, and I would just never get to all of them because they just keep coming in, and I need new eyes to see. So thank you both so much for being here. But like I always like to do, before we go, I'd like to give you both an opportunity. Any final words? Collin, we'll start with you.
You know, again, thank you everyone for, tuning in for the last few months as we've been doing these. Sorry that we missed last month, but it's been really fun, and it's been a neat time filler in between the seasons. And I look forward to keep on doing this, continuing on with this, and hopefully getting some more guests over the next few months. And we'll see who I can get, and I really look forward to talking with everyone. It's a lot of fun, and just remember, slow down, move over for everyone on the side of the road, and thank you all so much.
Right on, and shout out to the film crew. I'd like to see the film crew here. Hello, film crew, if you're watching. All right, Tammy, over to you.
I just want to, again, like Collin said, say thank you to people. There was a lot of support for us when we started doing Ohana Landing, and it continues to need support. So, whatever you guys can do for us, buy some merchandise, get on the pre-order list for the catalogs. Say hi to Gizzy.
Hey, Gizzy. Yeah, very good.
Thank you for doing this. We appreciate it.
Yeah, well,
Thank you, Dave.
I love doing it, and it's always great conversation, and it's really come around full circle for me to connect with you guys again. So, and I did see, I want to put this up. Dana Piggott says, Collin is not only a great heavy rescue guy, but a great parade float driver too. There you go.
Well, thank you, Dana.
And with that being said, thanks to all of you for joining us here once again. We will be back again. We're trying to do this once a month. Sometimes schedules don't mix well, but Collin and I do talk often, and we do try to figure out, okay, when are we going to do and what are we going to do? We want you to keep coming back. So if you've got any suggestions, maybe who you'd like to see here, that might help the situation as well. Collin, Tammy, I love you both. Thanks for being here so much, and stay safe on the road out there. Say hi to Gary, by the way. Hi, Gary.
Yeah, right here.
All right. Take care, everybody. Until next time, I'm David Burrows. Glad to be here. Bye for now.